People love dinosaurs, from the T-Rex to the Triceratops. There's just something about giant lizard monsters that gets everybody hard. That's right, I said it. But as cool as everyone's favourite reptiles were, prehistoric times had some epic non-dino animals that don't get the attention they deserve. And that's why we're here. From colossal killer scorpions to real-life sea monsters, here are 10 prehistoric creatures more terrifying than dinosaurs. Number 10, Titanoboa. I don't care what your friend with the tattoos and the death wish says. Snakes are not cuddly, friendly, or misunderstood. There's a reason that the most famous snakes in fiction are the one that tried to eat Mowgli, the one that hung out with Voldemort, and the one that was literally the devil. And that's because snakes are terrifying. None more so than the gigantic Titanoboa. This monstrosity was 14 meters long, weighed a ton, and survived by killing crocodiles and swallowing them whole. If you want a sense of how big this thing was, look at this picture. And then realise that model is out of date, and paleontologists now think it was 2 meters bigger than that. Like a modern day boa constrictor, this snake didn't poison its prey, but rather wrapped around anything it could catch and crushed it to death. The Titanoboa could apply a force of 180 kilograms per square inch, twice that of the Brooklyn Bridge. Imagine having the Brooklyn Bridge on your back and then double it. That's what a hug from this guy felt like. Most badass of all, the Titanoboa managed to survive the meteorite that wiped out the dinosaurs, living for another few thousand years afterwards. You know something's terrifying when even natural disasters don't want to mess with it.
Number 9. Megalodon.
If watching trashy sci-fi channel movies has taught me anything, it's taught me a lot. It's that sharks can always be more awesome. I mean, great whites are fine and all, but how about combining them with an octopus, or robotics, or a tornado that launches them at D-list celebrities? Well, Mother Nature has already done what no cheesy sci-fi film had the budget to do, and made a shark over 18 meters long. That's massive! The Megalodon is believed to have prowled the seas around 23 million years ago. With 17 centimeter teeth and a bite twice as strong as the T-Rex's, the Megalodon could hunt even the biggest prey. In fact, experts believe it would regularly attack and consume whales, not the country, the massive mammals. I guess there's no skipping carbs when you need to maintain an average weight of 50 tons. To put in context just how big the Megalodon was, a large great white shark reaches only about 4 meters in length and weighs a puny 1,000 kilograms. Hell, even the biggest living shark is the tiger shark, and that can only grow to around 12 meters long. Tiny. If the Megalodon was around today, it would dominate the ocean. Even if a great white tried to stand one down, it would look like a guy in green body paint trying to fight the Hulk. There'll only be one winner.
Number 8. Gigantopithecus.
Now we're moving on to the king of the swingers, the jungle VIP. No, not a pervert. I'm talking about the Gigantopithecus. Yeah! Living around 9 million years ago and looking like an orangutan that started lifting, the Gigantopithecus is the largest ape to have ever walked the earth. At 3 meters tall and weighing over 500 kilograms, males were twice the height of gorillas and 4 times as heavy. Though experts don't know exactly how strong the Gigantopithecus was, its descendant, the orangutan, is 7 times as strong as a human. And that's ignoring that the Gigantopithecus has a solid 400 kilograms on an orangutan. In fact, the Gigantopithecus was so large that scientists believe its mere size is what killed it. The ancient ape had to maintain its King Kong-like heft, eating only berries and bamboo. Mental. Gorillas have to eat 30 kilograms of food a day, and considering this thing makes gorillas look like Kate Moss, it's not all that surprising that there was a food shortage that all but wiped out the Gigantopithecus.
Number 7. Gorgonopsids.
Scientists describe the Gorgonopsid as a stem mammal or a mammal-like reptile, but let's just call it what it really is. It's a bear-sized murder lizard. Forgotten for millennia, this prehistoric predator had a resurgence of popularity after featuring on Walking with Monsters and Primeval. Great shows. And it deserves it. The Gorgonopsid was the dominant hunter of the Permian period in 289 million BCE and spent 46 million years as the most terrifying creature on Earth. This skilled killer had fangs 12 centimeters long, longer than even a T-Rex's teeth. These banana-sized mouth blades were frequently sunk into small dinosaurs like the Scutosaurus, which the Gorgonopsid was able to ambush. Some subspecies of Gorgonopsids are even thought to have reached the size of rhinos. If they were around today, these beasts would be the largest carnivores on land. Luckily, they aren't around today, and we have the Permian Triassic extinction to thank. Around 252 million years BCE, a series of volcanic eruptions bathed 2 million square kilometers of land in lava, and the Gorgonopsids died, along with 70% of the species on Earth.
Number 6. Gecalopterus.
Scorpions are armoured bugs with pincers at the front and a poisonous tail at the back. There's really not much good to say about them. You buy them a drink, they won't get you one back. That's a scorpion for you. But at least in our time they don't grow beyond about 20 centimetres. But that wasn't the case during the prehistoric era when the Gecalopterus was scuttling around in riverbeds. Its pincers alone were more than double the size of modern scorpions and could slice fish clean in half. At 2.5 meters long, the Gecalopterus dwarfs the largest bugs today. Also people. This thing was bigger than people. When not crawling around in your nightmares, the Gecalopterus was not above a bit of casual cannibalism. In fact, eating each other was a staple part of their diet. And that's not all prehistory had in terms of massive bugs. Dragonflies back then were more dragon than fly, with wingspans of 75 centimeters. Snails were 60 centimeters long, and spiders had legs spanning 15 centimeters. Even millipedes got the giant treatment. The Arthroplura could grow to way bigger than humans. Yeah, prehistory was so full on insane that even millipedes were terrifying.
Number 5. Entelodont.
Considering I've already shown you giant river scorpions, Nagini on steroids, and a real-life Yeti, a primeval warthog doesn't sound that scary. But look at this thing. That monstrosity is called the entelodont, which is Latin for never getting laid. Okay, so it's actually Latin for dreadful teeth, although most paleontologists genuinely call them either hell pigs or terminator pigs. As awesome as those names are, they're actually inaccurate. Despite looking like Pumbaa's evil twin, the entelodont is actually more closely related to the modern day hippo. Shock twist. A scavenger, the entelodont would ravage corpses up and down the prehistoric landscape, using its dreadful teeth to clean off rotting bodies. Its jaws were also powerful enough to crush thick dinosaur bones if needed. And in an amazingly petty act of douchebaggery, if a bigger predator came along and forced it off the kill, the entelodont had a backup plan. It would crap all over the food. If I can't eat it, you can't eat it. That's my motto as well. I have often pooed on my food.
Number 4. Liopleurodon.
If you Google image Liopleurodon, literally the first things that show up are paintings of it murdering fish and fighting demons. And that pretty much sets the tone for this ridiculous sea monster. Looking like someone slapped a crocodile's head on a killer whale, the Liopleurodon was a 10-meter long oceanic killing machine and the top predator of its age. Its massive mouth, which made up roughly a quarter of its body, wasn't just for giving giant smiles either. The Liopleurodon had a bite 4 times stronger than that of the T-Rex, which in turn had a bite 40 times stronger than a Nile crocodile. This thing could have bitten through a car and not even blinked. Unfortunately, no dinosaurs bothered to invent the car, so this monster's diet instead consisted of squid, crocodiles and other aquatic reptiles. With its nose able to smell prey from 16 kilometers away, the Liopleurodon could stalk prey from afar. Then it would use its impressive sprint of 35 kilometers per hour to ambush victims and crush them in its jaws. Although, to be fair, if you manage to get ambushed by something the size of a truck, it's kind of on you.
Number 3. Quetzalcoatlus.
In Aztec mythology, Quetzalcoatl was a feathered serpent god who drunkenly slept with his sister and then set himself on fire out of shame. Or as I call it, a Friday night. That may be a pretty weird story, but the real pterodactyl named after the god of sister banging was just as crazy. The Quetzalcoatlus was 10 meters tall and had a wingspan of 11 meters. That's over 3 times the size of an albatross's wings and comfortably the largest natural wings to have ever existed. It's so large that to this day, paleontologists have no idea how it was able to fly. Simply put, its bones don't seem strong enough to make something the size of a bus fly, yet fly it did, and fast. The Quetzalcoatlus could reach 170 kilometers an hour, allowing it to easily dive bomb small dinosaurs and mammals. The beast's top speed would make it the 5th fastest bird in the world today. And before you jump to the comment section, no, pterodactyls weren't dinosaurs. How many times do I have to tell you this? And if you want to know why they weren't dinosaurs, check out our video on 10 lies you still believe about dinosaurs. Yes, it's a shameless plug, but I need the views. Give me the views.
Number 2. Saber-toothed tiger.
Imagine having one body part so deadly that paleontologists had no choice but to name your entire species after it. That's like calling crabs scissor hands or narwhals stab faces. Yet, that's exactly what happened to the Smilodon, better known as the saber-toothed tiger. The Smilodon lived at the same time as mammoths, 12-foot bears, and the real Game of Thrones direwolves. But despite existing in an ecosystem that sounds more like a battle royale than a real historical period, the saber-toothed tiger was an apex predator. That means it had no natural predators itself, mainly because messing with the saber-toothed tiger meant being hole-punched by its 2 massive fangs. Although slightly smaller than a modern-day lion, the Smilodon was more muscular. In fact, individual Smilodons were powerful enough to hunt deer, bison, and even rhinos. While most big cats will bite through the throats of their prey, the saber-tooth had 2 main methods of execution. One was to stab something in the back of the neck and then use its brute strength to break the victim's neck. The other was to use its 28-centimeter teeth to slice victims apart piece by piece. Bigger animals couldn't relax around a Smilodon either, as if they weren't badass enough on their own. Some paleontologists believe that they hunted in packs. The same scientists argue that as a team, a pride of saber-tooths could even take down mammoths.
Number 1. Mosasaurus.
As I was saying earlier, our civilization is a bit obsessed with sharks. And why not? Sharks have razor-sharp teeth, empty soulless eyes, and the ability to hunt by smelling blood. They're essentially real-life vampires that didn't scrimp on swimming lessons. So imagine how obsessive we'd all be if the Mosasaurus was still around. After all, this thing literally ate sharks for breakfast. In fact, at 17 meters long, the Mosasaurus pretty much ate whatever it wanted. Everything from sharks to turtles to plesiosaurs ended up in its jaws. The Mosasaurus swam onto the scene in around 70 million BCE and immediately replaced the Liopleurodon as the ocean's top predator. Yet, this thing was so deadly it picked a fight with something that was 25% teeth and still won. To make them even more terrifying, scientists believe that the Mosasaurus had counter-shading. To those of you not cool enough to be up to speed on the terminology of paleoceanic biology, counter-shading is basically natural camouflage that makes fish harder to spot in the water. Come on, Everyone knows that. Unsurprisingly, no other fish were willing to pick on invisible sea monsters the length of bowling alleys. The Mosasaurus came to dominate the oceans, being found as far apart as Africa, America, and even Antarctica. So that was 10 prehistoric creatures more terrifying than dinosaurs. Which ancient animal would you least like to face? And did we leave any petrifying prehistoric predators off the list? Let us know in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, check out the one on screen now for more all-time 10s. Thanks for watching.